Hey, what's up guys? Want to do a Balisong collection update video. I have two cases here. These are currently all my Balisongs except for the Benchmade Model 51 Morpho, which I decided to keep. Gotta have something to flip when I'm bored. Plus obviously doing Balisong tutorials in the future. Now I have these split up into two cases. The smaller case is what's actually for sale right now, and the larger case for the most part are cheaper ones that, I mean, it's not like I'm going to make any money selling most of those anyway. As a collection, yeah, I can sell it, but again, not sure exactly, the interest, and I don't want to break them up because it's just a pain in the butt to ship, 50 or 60 packages, So anyway, just going to show you the collection. Basically, this is what's for sale. They'll all be for sale together, one lot, one price to one person. And this is probably something I'm going to end up keeping. It's just for my collection. Again, mostly cheaper things. Not everything's cheap, but a lot of harder to find, 80s style Balisongs. So anyway, let's open it up. Take a look inside. Alright, so I'm going to kind of go over each one briefly. I'm not going to take them all out. It's a pain in the butt getting them in and out of the case. And it's not a huge pain in the butt, but I kind of organize them by sections and stuff. So starting at the top left here, I have a larger 6-inch blade, cheap, rust-free, which is not a brand. A lot of people say, what is that a good brand? It just means rust-free. If I say rust-free, it just basically means no name Chinese or Pakistan, type Balisong. But it's the larger one. It's got a crisp blade. Oh, geez, I'll take it out. I don't know if I've ever showed this one before. I tried taking the coating off when I was younger. I got this when I was maybe like 12 years old, and it is huge. You can see even in my hand here. Very large knife. Again, Chris style blade, K-R-I-S. Very cool, very sharp. A lot of these cheaper knives, they do come razor sharp. I mean, they won't hold an edge, but when you first get them, you do want to be careful because they will cut you up. So anyway, have a large Balisong there. The next one is one of my all-time favorites because it's just so unique. I've only seen one in my entire life. I happened to get lucky and get it in a trade with someone who just wasn't interested in Balisongs. It was his father's. But this is the Fillet Flipper. Now, it has an ABS plastic handle here, and unfortunately the way it's pinned, it's just a little bit too snug on the top here. If I were to sand that down, it would flip fine, but it doesn't actually flip. I mean, sometimes if you catch it right, it'll flip, but a lot of times it'll bind up, like that. And I have to actually put pressure on it, so I can't flip it one-handed very easily. It'll get stuck out like that. Could modify it, but I'm not going to. Just want to keep it how it is. And basically, it's a Balisong style fillet knife, for fishermen or boatsmen. See there, it says Fillet Flipper. And on the bottom here, if I get in close, let's see if this will focus in. It focuses in, but it's still really small. Let me read it here for you. It says MFG International, Japan, headquarters, USA. And SKFF stainless steel is written on the back. And I have yet to find out its origin or anything like that. But it is a fully functional, sharp fillet blade. Plenty of flex in it, for filleting. It would actually be a great knife to use. But Balisong style, it's pretty cool. Very unique. So that one's probably always going to stay with me. It's just one of my treasured pieces. It's probably not even worth that much money. It's just the fact that you just can't find it. You just can't find it anywhere. Next, I have a fake Spyderco Spiderfly. One of the copies is the, I think it's called the Spyderfly, S-P-Y-D-Y, something like that. But anyway, next I have a Norwegian style Puka Balisong. Actually, I have two of them here. One's a real one, and one's a Chinese version, which is a no-name brand. And I'll pop them out and show you. And again, this Scandinavian style blade. Here's the no-name one. Cheaper plastic. You can see how the latch works here. Very interesting. Good design and everything, but this one just happens to be cheap. It's not even sharp. It came pretty dull. Just says stainless China on it. Of course, this is what it's modeled after. It's a copy of this one. Thicker, heavier duty plastic, really solid. The other one's hollow. This one's a little stiff because it's still brand new. But I'm probably going to butcher the name, but it says Sorsakoski, or S-O-R-S-A-K-O-S-K-I. Sorsakoski, Finland. I guess that makes sense. And it says on each handle, and then of course there's a marking on the blade there that says Pertimit and Sorsakoski, or Sorsakoski. I don't know. I'm an American, so that's just what it is. But awesome, awesome knife. Razor sharp, Scandinavian grind on this. Everything's polished up nice. You can see even the pins if I do a direct comparison here. I mean, first off, you could tell it's a heavier, beefier knife. It actually has a Scandinavian grind instead of this, you know, full flat ground blade from, you know, China. But really nice. You can see the polish difference, the pins, the handle construction. It's just overall, it's a very, very nice knife. Very cool. Really like it. It is still stiff, brand new, but if I were to work it in, you could actually flip it. So there you go, Scandinavian style Balisong, which is pretty cool. I have a, you know, mix between cultures. Close these up, put these back. I'm not going to take them all out because it is too time consuming. I know some people would like to watch the, you know, full hour-long video showing every single thing, but not everyone has the time or the interest, really. So anyway, two of those. I have two Balio pen Balisongs. You guys have seen those before. The original one is the gray. I will take this out to show you this. The original one here is the gray one, and it has the brass fittings. Okay, the weights in the handle are brass, as well as the you know, kind of cuff there is also brass. This is the first one that ever came out, which was the all gray one. Of course, there's lots of different models. The newer one, because I made a video a while ago, I did a review on this, and it was like $27 or something, or $25. I forget what it was. And a lot of people who are seeing that video now, they're saying, well, you know, you can get them a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay that much. But what you're getting is the newer versions that have aluminum instead of brass. See, the fittings are aluminum. Of course, they come in a bunch of different color varieties. They're really cool. They use the Fisher Space Pen. You know, you just twist the top there, and there's your pen. But the Fisher insert, so you get all the benefits of that. They're really, really cool pens. They're fun for a lot of people who, you know, are younger. Can't necessarily bring a knife to school. Well, I don't think anyone can bring a knife to school these days, unfortunately. But it's a fun little thing to play in class, you know. And like I said, if your parents, if you are younger and your parents don't want you having knives, it's a great alternative, so you can still flip around. The top row here, let me pull this a little closer. Top row here are all just cheap, no-name Chinese models. They're really, some of them are copies. Like the second one here, this was one of my first Balisongs. I must have been 11 years old when I got this. It's a Microtech Takken copy. Now, if you have the original Microtech Takken, and I got some fuzz from the case there on my hand, the original one can probably get $400 or $500 now. And the original one had a, I believe it was a 154 cm blade and a titanium handle, but it was this exact same style. Okay, handle cutouts and everything. Then what happened was Microtech had a bunch of the blades left, but no more handles. So they made the Microtech Dragonfly, and that was the exact same design, same exact blades, but they had aluminum handles. And they also made different variations with some different color combinations, like the Swamp Fly was like a green and tan, and you know, they had an Urban Fly and all that kind of crap. But if you could find any of those Balisongs, they're highly, highly collectible. And the original one was one of the nicest, smoothest production Balisongs there ever was, you know, next to the Benjamin Model 42. So any real Microtech Balisongs are awesome. But this one, even back in the day, I had my initials engraved on it, on the handles. That was funny. And I painted the spacers white at one point, and the latch and all that, but I mean, just, you know, beat the heck out of it. Here it is open. See, just scratch the crap. Use this thing for everything. You know, a normal young boy would do. Use his knives, you know, improperly. But anyway, one of my first, it'll probably always stay with me. It's not worth anything, it just has that, you know, sentimental value to me. But besides that, the rest of the ones in this row, not worth talking about, really. You know, cheaper ones, aluminum. It's like your common $15, $20 Balisong you get that kind of falls apart on you. I didn't really use any of these. The top one here with the yellow, it has a yellow bone handle. It's an M-Tech. It's one of the crappiest Balisongs I've ever gotten in my life. I actually bought a dealer's case of this. It was 24 of them, and I got them for $2 each from Blade Play. And Blade Play, this is one of their like closeout slash damaged goods section. I don't know if they still have that on their website, but sometimes if they have knives that are broken, or there's issues with them, or they're just really cheap pieces of crap, they'll still sell them, but they'll sell them at such a ridiculous discount that people still want them. They figure, oh, I'll buy it and I'll fix them, or I'll make them better. Now the original intent when I got those, and I know they were junk, but I was going to use the blades and start making my own Balisongs, but I just you know, never got around to it. The middle row here are kind of some of the smaller, more novelty stuff. I have two like kind of modern day miniatures. I did reviews on these. These ones have the black blades, and this one I believe came from Blade Ops. Compared to an older one from the 90s, a miniature. So from back in the day, you can see they're pretty much the same. I think I even used this as a comparison for the video, but obviously without the black blade, and the blade style is a little bit different. But just some miniatures, some novelty ones. Then I have the Balisong key, which is still a blank. Originally bought this for my first car, which is a 1990 Pontiac Grand Prix, and it turned out that the key blank was for like a Honda or something, so I could never get it cut, but I just kept it as is. So pretty cool. I mean, it is an auto key. I forget exactly what make it was for, but it wasn't for my car, so I just kept it ever since. Then of course the Benchmade Balisong USB, which is pretty cool. Did a review on that. Then on the last one here is a Parker Gypsy. It's a small 3-inch Balisong. Turn this a little bit. The bottom row here, there's actually two stacked on top of each other here. Well, let me show you these because one's a copy and one's an original. Bottom one's the original. And this is an 80s, again, Parker Gypsy. Alright, this is how a lot of the Balisongs looked, you know, in the mid to late 80s, you know, early 90s. This when Balisongs kind of first got their popularity. You know, people started watching movies like, I don't know, Big Trouble in Little China, stuff like that. So anyway, here's the original Parker Gypsy. You can see a lot of the same style, and a lot of copies from the 80s were this the same style of Balisong. Very thin, all metal construction, you know, a couple simple holes. Now here's a Chinese copy of this exact same knife, although it's not the original. You can see here, first off, this is a utility style flat ground blade, and on top we have a Weehawk blade. So right off the bat, there's one difference. It was supposed to be a direct copy. Obviously this one's just marked stainless Pakistan. And another thing to note, you'll see on the Parker Gypsy, the latch is on the bite handle. Okay, there's the blade, there's the latch, bite handle. On here, we have a Manila style Balisong, which means that the latch is on the safe handle. That's something you'll find a lot with the Pakistani made Balisongs. You can see it says Pakistan on there. The Chinese ones almost always have a more common, I don't want to say correct because there's no real right or wrong way, it doesn't really matter, it's just this is more common to have it on the bite handle. But the Pakistanis, for some reason, they always swap it. I don't know why. You can see it's on the other handle. So this is the real one, here's a copy. So anyway, that's that. Put these away in a second. Now the bottom row are the name brand ones. Again, older ones from the 80s. Next one here is, I believe, a Taylor. Then we have a, let's see what this one is. I think this might even be a Frost Cutlery. Back in the day when they actually made better knives, yeah. Frost Cutlery. When they were able to import them before the big ban. Pretty cool. Heavy duty. Common cheap knife design with the dragon, you know, engraving. I don't even think it's an engraving, it's just like, you know, a cast handle. Very, very heavy Balisong though. I mean, really just opens with authority. If you screw up with this knife, it is not forgiving because of all that weight in the handles. And it is razor sharp. So, anyway, we have a Skeletonized Jaguar, which was originally a copy of the International series from Benchmade. I believe a model 259 was this style. Then I have another Jaguar, and just different handle style there. You know, no holes or anything, just kind of half moon cutouts on the side. Then I have the Bear Cutlery trainer, which I've shown before with the O-ring modification. Great video if you haven't seen that before. Just an easy way to, I'll show you. I didn't want to make this a long video, but you know how that goes. This is a great modification for any cheap Balisong, and it's the O-ring mod. Basically, you have a larger O-ring here, and you want to put that on the safe handle. Okay, just towards the end. Alright. Just like so. Now, first off, what this is for is if you have a cheap Balisong and your latch won't stay shut, it's just really loose all the time, that's what this modification is for. But you put a larger O-ring right there, and what that's going to do is it's going to give you a little bit of a spacer, okay, so the handles don't come in all the way close. This spaces them off just a little bit. On top of that, a smaller O-ring on the end of the latch, okay, which also fills in the gap. So now you have a nice tight fit. It's not going to shake loose, it'll stay shut for you. Same deal when it's open, it will stay shut. If you take the O-rings off, it'll get loose, it'll flop around, it'll just be like this in your pocket, it won't actually stay shut, which stinks. That's why it's such a great modification. Very simple to do, and while you're flipping it, if it gets in your way or bugs you, you simply pop them off. It takes 2 seconds. One of my favorite modifications. So besides that, we also have the Ronin gear trainer, which is a piece of crap, but you know, it's cheap, and if you need a trainer, whether it, you know, because of legal issues or just because you don't want to cut yourself, whatever, it's a cheap one, it works. Here I have the utility, let me put this to the side here, the utility knife, Balisong style. Showed a video on that. I have 2 more of those Pakistani ones from before, only these are all brass. Same deal, cheap. They also have the Manila style latch on there. Then I have 3 Jaguars, older one, I'm sorry, 4. All 4 of these are Jaguar knives, and they're just different models. Excuse me. This one is the Jaguar, or, I'm sorry, 3 Jaguars here, 3 different styles, and then this one is a copy. And even though it's all beat up, I showed this in a past video, but I'll show you again. This is a Chinese version of this knife. It's a direct copy. Which is stupid because they both probably cost 20 bucks when they're brand new anyway. But obviously you can see it's a design copy, a direct rip-off of the Jaguar. So, that's that. And then of course the last one here, the Bottlefly. And they had 3 different versions of this, designs. One was the American flags, another one was red skulls with a black background, and the last one I can't think of off the top of my head. It was blue with some kind of a wavy pattern. But pretty cool. They made these originally for Sturgis as a novelty item. It's a latchless Balisong, aluminum construction with a stainless steel full-size bottle opener. You see Sturgis Bike Week, these are made in 2003. And this is the original website, Bottlefly USA, which is no longer a real website. Even though I know thousands of you are going to go check it out anyway, and take my word for it, it doesn't exist anymore. Originally these were like $20 to $25. I missed out when these sold out, and I got mine from New Graham. They had about 3 of them in stock, you know, after the fact, and they sold in like a day. But I happened to get lucky and just get one of them here. Very cool knife, extremely heavy, extremely loud, very annoyingly loud. But pretty darn cool. And if you're in a bar type scene, you know, if you're a bartender or something, this is pretty flashy. It's just as fun, if not more fun, than throwing those bottles around. But anyway, that's my Bottlefly. So that concludes the current collection here. Besides the other ones which are for sale, the more expensive ones. So let me push this out of the way for now. Put those back in a minute. And let's bring in this thing. This is a smaller pouch. Just a couple in here, but they are the more popular ones. Turn the tripod a little. Alright, so on the left here, we have 3 Spydercos. On the right, we have 2 Benchmades. And on the top, we have a custom. On the left here, we have the Spyderco Small Fly. It's in mint condition. Bring this up so you can see a little bit better. You guys have probably seen these before. Underneath we have the red version, which is the Spyderco Small Fly Trainer. Then on the bottom we have the very sought after, very cool, original Spyderco Spiderfly. This one's in 440C. Most of them were in 440C. The first 100 or so were in 154 cm. They're even more hard to find, but if you do happen to have one of those, it's the more rare of the two. There's a lot less of those made. However, the Spiderfly in general is very hard. There was a full recall on this. There was nothing wrong with the knife, but there were legal issues with Spyderco. They got caught with the importation of Balisong parts. They were fined like $500,000, and supposedly they sent out a letter. I never got one, but I wasn't the original owner either. But all the sales, like the documentation they had, they sent out letters to these people saying that, you know, there's a recall on this knife. You have to send it in. We'll give you full credit to buy something else on our line. Of course, most people never did that. They just kept them and said whatever. But very collectible. Like I said, a lot of people looking for them. Very cool knife, a little awkward to flip, but definitely a collectible piece. On the bottom here we have the Benchmade model 53, which is more of a recent Balisong model. The older, smaller Morpho, which is the model 32 from Benchmade in a D2 steel. By the way, the 53 is also D2. And on top here we have the custom, which I showed before. It's from Policio's site. Really, really nice. I mean, this one is still in mint condition. Only flipped it 2 times. Once for my video demo. Got a little cleaning of the blade to do. Just, you know, gotta wipe it down. Got some lint and stuff in the case here. Full stainless steel. Excellent, excellent attention to detail on this. Super, super smooth. Very high polished. Just a beautiful, beautiful Balisong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this as a lot right now. I mean, if no one wants it after, I don't know how long, but if for some reason there's no one who buys this at all, I will break it up and sell them individually. You know, I'll sell that alone and this alone. Maybe I'll sell the Spyderco set together, these two, and then sell that alone. Not sure, but together I'd like to get $1,000 for the set here, these 6 knives. So if you're interested, shoot me an email. You know, free shipping and all that stuff. Anyway, that's all. If you're interested, shoot me a PM. If not, don't worry about it. Enjoy the video. I mean, a lot of people would just like the video anyway, just to see some Balisongs, anyone who's into it. And that's it, just a Balisong video update and the sales mentioned. I will put in the description box, if anything sells, I'll put that it's sold so that there's no confusion. If this video is seen, you know, months from now and something's gone, someone may be interested. And just, you know, please read the description box to see what's actually available left, if anything's available. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys.